Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan. Well, the weather forecast over the next few days goes back downhill again. Of course it does, it's the weekend. Welcome to August, welcome to a very unsettled weather pattern, which brings pluses and minuses depending on how you look at it. So let's kick off with the wind map, and you can see that developing low. Now it's not a very deep low, but it's enough to generate that cyclonic air movement around it, and the air pressure is deepening. That's why it's got that purple colour to it. It moves up towards the North Island over the next day or so, and out to the east, a big blocking high, which is also going to be influencing our weather over the weekend. Now, rainfall wise, we do have a fair bit of rain coming in over the next 3 days. This is the rainfall map for the next 3 days. Highlights heavy rain over here in the northwestern and western sides of the South Island. Rainfall totals getting up around 60 millimetres, but the real rain looks like it's going to be up around East Cape and Gisborne. Bulk of that rain looks to be out at sea because surrounding regions don't show the same totals, but that bright area of blue, it takes you right up to potentially 150 millimetres of rain over the next few days in that little corner. Other areas that you see with the yellows and the greens, that's not much, 5 or 10 millimetres, so just a few showers and a few spits of rain. Some of that rain's going to fall as snow as well around the South Island especially. Might affect a couple of the alpine passes, but it's not really falling to extremely low levels, and there'll be a little bit of snow around Mount Ruapehu as well, which I'm sure will be welcomed by the ski fields. This is how it looks for Friday, the setup. There's that low just off the west coast. It is slowly moving up towards the North Island. There's a band of rain which is also attached to that system, and that will slowly move away in the morning, but is going to come back over the weekend. And the high to the east, partially to blame, but actually there's a big high to the west, to the east, and to the south, basically cradling that low and not letting it move away very fast. So once we get to Saturday, it pretty much falls apart, but there's this area of low pressure to the northeast of New Zealand, and that's going to drive down some heavy rain. That's that heavy rain we just saw around East Cape and Gisborne. The South Island clears up, not so bad there, and wind flows, fairly mild, coming in from the northeast for a number of areas, but it may be a little bit cooler than it has been over the past couple of days. Now to Sunday, more rain continues around that northeastern corner. Rain also starts to slide down the eastern side of the South Island, potentially getting down to Canterbury. This system is falling apart though on Sunday, and while it looks like it's raining everywhere across a big chunk of the North Island, I think the mountains and ranges are going to break it up, and it will become quite light and patchy amongst that central part of the country. Let's get into next week. Not a great deal of change on Monday. You've still got the nor'easters, you've still got that area of low pressure, and you can see why that northeastern corner is exposed to the most amount of rain in the days ahead. Nor'easters continue down, but they start to turn a little more northerly and even northwesterly ahead of the next system, and that is arriving around about Tuesday next week. Big low just off the southwest coast of New Zealand. Quite a big storm in the Southern Ocean. It's got gales around it, so we might be seeing wind warnings, rain warnings, and even snow warnings for the South Island for a time perhaps around Tuesday. But let me just take you a little bit bigger picture. This is Wednesday of next week. New Zealand is just in that little part there. I wanted to show you this big picture to show you that the highs seem to be coming back to the north again, and that encourages more westerlies. So we're going back to the westerlies by the looks of it next week, with the highs to the north, big lows to the south. Around the middle of the month, that stuff's moving in. So you never say never in August, you can get anything, but I have to admit, we are definitely seeing a warmer than average weather pattern right across New Zealand at the moment. That is all from me. We'll update you again tomorrow.